welcome back to Roadside Nuggets, everybody. This energy today, I am super grateful for. I don't know how y'all are feeling. I am amped. I am literally, like, my toes are curling right now from how much energy is literally pushing through my body. It's actually really insane. So definitely hope and pray everyone out there is doing their best to be stable in these energies. Couple pointers today. We have definitely been talking a lot about, slowing things down, pulling the emergency brake, getting a clear view of ourselves, and these energies as things are coming up. Now, this is the point of why we were saying so much to slow down, because now the energies are starting to pick back up, right? So, definitely we need that balance. We need that harmony, that reset in a lot of ways where it's not forever. It's not pulling back all the way forever. No, it's about slowing down, getting a couple signs, where you at, guiding yourself, making sure you're on the path, and then go, right? No one's trying to hold you out of anything. No one's trying to slow you down on purpose, but this is where we can make the corrections. Has anyone ever tried to fix a car while you're on the highway going 80 miles per hour? It's kind of asking for a lot, right? And it's what you're trying to expect yourself to do, trying to go all the time, and think that you can still manage yourself and balance and be in harmony and make the corrections, everything like that, while you're not ever slowing down. Sometimes you have to come to a complete stop and get out, look around yourself, check yourself out, gauge yourself. Where am I at? What's going on? What needs to be kind of repaired within myself? And then get back on the highway and go, right? If you just go like that, your tire's going to pop, something's going to bust in your car, you're not going to be happy, it's not going to feel good, and it's going to require a lot more steps now just to get back on the road and going, because now you've caused more damage, you've created a bigger mess, you've overwhelmed yourself too much, right? So the slowdown, the complete stop, the pause, the emergency brake, it is so necessary in this process. So as we can keep picking up the pace and climbing higher and higher, we have these moments where we can have these very present-centered moments with ourselves. Really get a good look at everything that's going on. And then once we have a good internal awareness of ourselves, a good compass, then we move forward in that direction that we feel guided in. Right? So this is all about what energy today is really picking up. It is literally like, oh my God. I cannot tell you how much, I haven't been a really high level of, I wouldn't call it really joy. It's just, I have a lot of relief today. Just with how productive today's been, with how much energy is pouring through, and there's not really there hasn't been a moment today where I felt like, I just don't want to do this. I don't have the energy. I don't have the motivation. I don't know. I didn't feel like that at all today. It was constantly one thing after another, go. And it's like, okay, what's next? What do I do now? And it's like this, it felt good to be that overproductive than I have been, recently. It feels good to see a jump in your productivity and your progress and how much you can push and expand. And you're seeing a lot of the work you've been doing. You're seeing it all come together in these moments and actually come out in the experience. You're actually seeing what you've changed in yourself, and you're experiencing it for the first time. It's like looking at yourself a new way. You're like, whoa, is that me? It is, right? And this is what you can get excited for and get really just pumped up and amped up about, because this is the constant, ever-changing, story of us. We can always become grander and better, right? It's all according to change, choice, and, of course, the patience, because you have to allow this process to take place and happen within yourself. Until you've worked through the whole thing, the process, you've let it go, you transformed, you've got the awareness, you've really felt into this and reflected on it, and that's really all it takes. You're not doing a ton of work, people, okay? You're not doing a ton of work at all. It really is just you becoming aware, you integrating it within yourself, applying it, and then boom, on to the next, and on to the next, and on to the next. It never really has to stop, and you don't really have to get stumped unless you have the resistance with moving forward in a way, whether it's circumstances around you, whether it's the situation or your own control issues of why you won't allow this, embrace it, or move forward and surrender to it. It's all what you're choosing, right? So definitely, just to let everybody know, so I have Telegram up. So if you want to, I'm going to start doing this new thing now on the live streams. The the Silver Lining podcast, it's been doing really, really great. But I want to start doing this more on this platform for the live streams. Is, anybody that wants to come on and talk, anyone that wants to communicate or share, or has questions that you would actually like to use your voice, to ask, I encourage you. I feel this is really powerful and important transformation, for everybody, and it helps teach people to use their voice, have the confidence to step up. Who cares who's listening? Who cares how many people are in the room and then they can hear you say, and who cares, right? When are you going to speak? When are you going to allow life to express through you? So this is a really good opportunity for everyone to kind of just jump on board with that, speak, share, resonate, whatever it is. But definitely this is an opportunity for all of us, not just one person, to where we can grow, in a lot of ways. So opportunities on the table for all of you. You just got to raise your hand, and then I'll go ahead and unmute you and bring you on. But yeah, this is going to be fun. And okay, I am done with this. So I was testing Instagram out again today, and it appears that for whatever reason, there's just some kind of, issue or something going on with it where it's not staying on the screen. Like it blacks out and then it pauses due to poor connection, which it's only doing it because the screen turns off. I don't know. It's really, really, really weird. I'm just going to go ahead and end that, and then I'll figure out later what we're going to do with that. So on to the next one moment. Okay, cool. Transferring to this one because this one works. Transferring to this one because this one works better. And yeah, beautiful. So I want to share with everyone today, definitely there was a topic I really wanted to go into. And the Telegram today too, if you didn't catch that, we covered quite a few really awesome topics, really, really awesome ones. I was really happy with it. I was grateful for just the awarenesses everyone was able to share with each other, and really just be in that space and hold space for everybody. It was powerful. It was awesome. Definitely true. Let's see. Okay, it's unmuted. I thought it was muted for a moment. So with the energies today, okay, we are, I was doing some tapping in, and I feel collectively in a big way we're already in the channel. I talked a lot about this energetic canal that we are moving through, and how that was going to affect our human experience in a lot of ways. And maybe first off, I use as an example externalization, because when we externalize things, we put it outside of ourselves, and so anything that's externalized, it is further away from you, and relation and understanding, acceptance, all kinds of things. It's so pushed out of your field, outside of yourself and your own accountability for yourself, that as we move into, let's see, I'll use this as an example. You see how circular this singing bowl is, right? It's like a tube, right? So as everything you've externalized out here, as we're squeezing through this little tube, this portal, basically, everything that's all around you and connected to you, it has to cram through this space now, energetically. So in your experience where you've gotten, again, used to the comfort zones and being able to bypass things in denial, now we're getting to experience where the actual reality itself is going to start enforcing this back into your awareness. And where you used to be able to control and be able to find some kind of space with it that you agreed with, where you used to deny or push away, deflect, or bypass, and that used to work before, that used to be something we got used to, like, oh, okay, I'll bypass it, I don't have to accept that. Well, okay, it might have been the point before, but now it's changing. That's what I kind of want to help you all understand. It's all changing, okay? And how many things we've done over life. Just because you're doing the same action the same way now does not mean it equals the same output, the same result anymore. Everything is getting switched around, okay? And so this is where we have to learn to grow and learn to mature. Right, where a lot of our older ways of doing things and how we handle things, they may have benefited you at one point in your life. They may have been of support or help to you in some point in your life. No one's denying that. However, with the change that we are in and the change we constantly go through and are going through continuously, all of this is now being challenged within each and every individual person on this planet. Every single comfort zone, every single boundary line that you have set out of fear, out of distrust, uncomfortability, unfamiliarity, not wanting to, be identified as something, whatever it is, the excuse that, we've resisted and haven't surrendered yet to the truth. This is all being challenged now, okay? And everyone knows the energy of being challenged or challenging something, when it gets your blood boiling sometimes. It kind of makes your hair stick up. It's like, what? Because the ego is so cocky. It's so arrogant. And so a lot of times we'll say things or we think we know things like to a T until it's being challenged, until someone says something completely opposite. And then boom, that's when that trigger comes in. It's like, what? What? No, I don't accept that. No, I know the truth. And it's not that. And it's like this massive bypass comes in, and it's a lot of it is it's pride. It's everyone trying to be stubborn. And I feel the stubbornness is like super. I mean, you're talking to some of the most stubborn people on this planet. Humanity is extremely stubborn and resistant with just accepting change as a whole. It has really nothing really to do with even truth and awareness. Just anything changing causes a deep disturbance in humanity where we're not okay with that. And then we think there's something wrong because it's changing, because something in our mind thinks that it's supposed to stay the same forever and not change unless we control it to change. But if we haven't given it permission to change, it's not allowed to change for us when we're not in control, though. And so when it starts to change, we are threatened. Our ego is threatened because now what we thought we could control, what we thought we had power over, what we thought we understood better than anyone, now that's actually changing, and we're not comfortable with that change or admitting that maybe we weren't all the way there with that process yet. And not accepting that maybe we have to do a little bit more work. We want to already be there. We want to already be it. We want to be so prideful and so arrogant, just like, no, I got it already. I don't need you. This is my version of it. It's like that is the spoiled brat child in all of us that literally didn't get what they wanted or didn't understand or wasn't accepted. And these are child wounds that we all have where we weren't accepted, we weren't supported, we were not listened to, we weren't heard, our voice, what we had to share as children was not listened to or accepted or honored and respected because we were younger, because we weren't adults yet. We're children. We have so much to learn. And this kind of energy is what we internalize in ourselves, and we turn around and do the same thing to other people. Right? It's a constant domino effect that just never stops until someone chooses to unplug completely from it.
That's a weird thing.
That was. He tripped on the cord as I said unplug. But yeah, we have to unplug from the constant ring around continuously over and over and over again to get a different result, right? And a lot of it is going to come out of not wanting to be the first one, okay? We all know that energy. Sometimes it's out of fear that we don't want to be the first one, or sometimes it's out of literally just being arrogant, that we don't have to be the first one. Someone else should do that because we feel like we've done enough. We feel like we've gone over and beyond. So why should I have to move my ass now? I should just be able to claim what I've done and have my title, and then other people now can do the work. I've done my work. So what is that? What is your work? Because our work, your work, my work is this planet, and it's all of humanity. So if your work is not that work, I don't know what your work is, because it's not really work. It's your own dysfunction, it's your own bullshit, it's your own illusion that you told yourself, that you bought, that you keep selling to people, they keep enabling and just placating you. But no one ever said that was actually the true reality, or that's the whole purpose of why you're here, right? And because other people's egos keep giving importance to the dysfunction or what other people's delusions are, what they want, and because that's supported, that's what people keep giving energy and focus to, is the delusion that nobody's going to get it. but yet it seems so grand. It seems so cool. It seems like, that's me. That's totally me. Well, what are you doing to be it? Are you living that lifestyle? Are you becoming that? Is that your intention of how you are behaving? No, right? We have disassociated and split ourselves so much with what we want and what we think is real, with what is true and what is destiny in a lot of ways. And destiny, I definitely want to change that, because destiny is not what our 3D version of it is, where it's this one thing that's already been decided forever ago and nothing you can do to change that. I talked a little bit about this on the podcast earlier, about this whole destiny and fate thing, where we have, bought into this lie that destiny and fate, like, it's my fate, it's my destiny to have a miserable life. Where people get so far, they get so fed up and exhausted by their own actions, their own life that they've manifested, to the point where they throw in the towel, they quit, right? And that's the energy of just, wanting to unplug and, just thinking that everything is against you, right? Trying to play the victim in life and say, well, everything's against me. The cards are stacked against me. Everybody is my enemy and nobody wants to support me. No one loves me. Like that kind of fate and destiny talk to yourself, where whatever your life is right now at this point, this is my destiny. I can't change it, right? And so people who are in suffering and miserable, they literally think that's my destiny. Like everyone went around and drew straws in heaven, and some people got the short straw, which is the shitty straw. And what? You think God, that'll be an opportunity God gave you? No. You fully chose that. You accepted that for yourself. Life is not against you. God is not against you. No one in creation is against you but your own ego. And this is the one thing that we can't seem to be assertive and direct within ourselves and confront our own self in order to move this ego out, to transform and heal it, and to, be able to see more of ourself beyond the lies, beyond the fantasy and delusion, and actually see what actually is real. Who are we? What is our joy and our love, and what is our dream? What is our passion that we want to express and bring into this life and manifest and, gift away and share with all around us? Everything has to move to a higher collective perspective in a lot of ways. But again, we have to understand the inner workings. And humanity, us as individual humans, in a lot of ways, we represent that energetic inner workings. Because all of us, all 8 billion people on this planet, have to work together collectively to achieve this goal. So we are the inner workings of this dream, coming online and coming into physical manifestation. We are the different parts in the dream, working and moving together, mixing and merging and connecting to create this reality, right? Every single person matters, every single part, everyone, what they have to give and share and express and become. It is all grand. It is all written into the divine plan by God herself of how we were going to recreate heaven on earth and bring that into real physical manifestation. It's no longer going to be a story in a book. It's no longer going to be this thing we go to church every Sunday for a stupid hour and sit there and read this delusional fantasy about what's waiting for us on the other side, and we just have to suffer a little bit longer. Like, what? No, throw that shit in the trash, okay? We're not here to suffer. We're not here to be punished. We have no sins we have to repay. All this crap is delusional trash. Things that we picked up from other people, older people, people of different generations and different religions, cultures, and all walks of life with different mentalities. It's all their own opinion and judgment. No one, this doesn't matter to God. It's not love. It's not joy. It's not, support and expansion and growth. God's not in that if those are not part of it, So, definitely there's a big, mom's foot is coming in hot for humanity in a lot of ways, and really putting her fiery foot up our butt so we can get the move on. Okay, this doesn't mean break into a quick sprint and just blaze down the track. This means this is your heads up. And I feel this is the point of this message today in the stream, is to let the collective know, heads up. This is coming in now, and it's coming in hot. So heads up, okay? So it's not to, nothing to creep you out or spin you or anything like that. It's for awareness. It's like, okay, you see that the light on the board, it's on yellow, it's about to turn to green, which is go time. So these are the moments of where the speed is picking up, and you can feel it. You can feel the anticipation in the air. Everything is like electric waves, like just shocking through the air. Everything's popping. I can feel it. I can hear it. The energy is really, really picking up. So it is only a matter of moments before the physical starts starting to move with it. Okay, first the energy starts to kick in, the energy starts pushing, and then you start seeing it manifest where the physical starts to reflect that energy push, where the physical experience starts to shift and move faster. So this is the kind of the billboard sign. You're driving, you see the sign before you get to the exit. It's like, hey, this is coming up. So I'm telling you all, hey, this is coming up. So this is your billboard sign. Get ready, okay? Because the exit's coming and we're all taking the exit, and we got to be focused and aware when we take the exit, right? Because we're all going the same direction. So just to kind of throw those analogies in there and help everyone understand more. Oh, no. Okay, so the whole time Telegram totally was not unmuted, so that's dumb. Okay. Thank you, dumb AI technology. We're moving forward. So, anyways, for Telegram people, I apologize. Didn't know it was still muted on there because I switched phones. I think that's what happened when I switched the cell phone. It muted itself, and I didn't go back to undo that. So, that is totally my accountability. I love you all. So, definitely, I'll share the stream after this this live is over, so you all be able to go back and watch the live stream and just hear what was shared and talked about. And maybe that might be some transformation for some of y'all who don't like. I know Facebook's a whore. I know Google is a whore. YouTube is a whore. They're all whores. All the tech giants. But still, we flip it, right? We flip it to the highest. So maybe it might be a transformation moment for other people who don't like those platforms to come off Telegram for a moment and actually view it on a different platform. It's not going to bite you. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to get poisoned by ever venturing onto Facebook's app. I promise you it's not deadly or anything like that, and we have to get past those fears too, and the angels are chiming in now on that as well. We have to get past these fears, these projections. We give way too much power away to the darkness and the ego because we stay away from it. It's like we give the ego all this space, and the ego with all that space, it takes over, right? You gotta be accountable, and so where we have these resistances, and of course, I don't like Facebook, yet I use it every day. I go live on it every day. I share things all day long, every day on Facebook, even though I don't like Facebook, right? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you can't use it as a benefit. It can't support what you are doing, right? And so I feel a lot of people have different opinions and judgments just because, of the awareness about, Facebook and, all the things and censoring and just, yeah, I know the whole thing we talk about all the time. Still, this does not excuse you from using something as another opportunity, another platform to learn and grow and experience yourself, expand in that. That's a grand experience, and it definitely is, it helps you have new experiences. So yeah, just freshen it up. That's the best thing I can say to you all is with the ego loves, the same redundant broken record story. So if you freshen it up, if you change things up every now and then, do something different, try it a different way, express it a different way, experience it a different way, the ego cannot follow you fast enough through the experience because it's so new, and the ego hasn't had that experience before. It's not familiar. Therefore, the ego is more recording. It's trying to record and copy the experience, what's happening. Therefore, later the ego can manipulate and twist it and use it against you, right? So that's why, definitely Mom, she was always about pushing us, to, even if we didn't do it before, even if we weren't comfortable with it or we weren't a pro at it, Mom still pushed us to do it and to follow through with that with honor and integrity, and just, even if it doesn't matter what it looks like, just keep doing it. And it was a massive practice in a lot of ways because it didn't matter what we were doing. but they were different new experiences that we didn't have before, we hadn't practiced. And so it put you in this environment where everything is completely not familiar. Therefore, your ego can't fuck with it. Your ego can't manipulate and twist things, so you're completely new. And if you stay in a high vibration, if you stay in a high consciousness with that, and just allow the experience in that moment to show you what the experience is like with your consciousness and the vibration where you are at that point, it is a different story than something we've been through quite a few times, and we keep telling ourselves this story inside of what it is, why it's happening, all that, and we don't ever get off, the treadmill, right, to look at it. And this is why we need to change it into something new completely. The ego thrives off of unchanging situations. And so if we can change it even a little bit, apply put music in there, some incense, something, change it up, and it provides a different catalyst. Now control is triggered. Now what we expect and what we are predicting isn't happening. That's what the ego does. It predicts and it expects based off of what your experiences have been already. That's why in new experiences you haven't had before, there is nothing to expect or predict because you don't know what the experience is about. You don't know what you're going to experience. So that is one of the best ways to really flip yourself, and especially if you know your ego's fighting you a lot, and waking up and reflecting and being able to not be robotic when we're going through our life, daily. If you're so robotic, you have to plan things, you have to do things on the time limit, everything has to be timed and calculated, and it has to be this way, and it has to be done before this, not after, and it's the same thing over and over. That's a robot. That's completely a robot. And people might, delusion themselves and say, well, this is discipline, and this is being mature and being an adult. Yeah, in certain ways. But if you can't change that into anything else and still maintain the discipline, no, it's a robot. You are in control and in fear that this is the only way to do it for you that works right, and you're scared to try it a different way because it probably won't work right that way. But who told you that, right? See, this is what we need to be doing with ourselves, is actually challenging what our belief systems are, what we think is right, what we know to believe to this point in our life as true. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is that still the same? Do I still feel the same way? Do I still see it in the same way? Right? Because if you don't, now that's the requirement. You must change this now, or else you're always going to live off of this old version of you that you've clearly already done the work to get rid of. So you owe it to yourself, to honor yourself, your journey. And if you have gotten to this point, then honor yourself in letting it go. And realizing that, okay, obviously I made this choice in a very heated moment. I probably was not in my heart. I probably was being a complete asshole or a dick to somebody. I probably was very jaded, hurt. I was upset. I was in blame. I probably was not. Don't even say probably. I know for a fact, because it's my experience. I know I was not being loved. When I created this belief system in myself, when I decided this is the way life is for me, I know I was not in a good high vibrational place in my life when I chose that. So me playing coy with myself, denying this, at this point in my life, when I have done work, I have transformed, I have done amazing things with myself and changing who I was, right? So now the honoring part, how to honor that journey, is to go back and look at myself and say, okay, right, this is how I saw life at this point. It doesn't mean I see it the same way now. Accept that and acknowledge that in yourself, and then still do the work, the effort to change now. So if I don't accept this belief system anymore, if I have outgrown this belief system that I held on so tightly for years, what does it change into now? Can I let the belief system go so I can accept what is, right? You have to walk yourself through the process and understand what you are doing and what is going on with you so you can learn and understand yourself better. That's why we're doing it. That's why the whole purpose of us being here, that's the whole point of all of this together. And I feel somebody, I can't remember who it was. I looked at a comment earlier, and someone had commented on Telegram. They were like, is there a point to all of this? And yeah, there's a big point called Ascension, and we all got to get there. And I don't care if I have to get up here every single day and say the same things out of my mouth every day, if that's what it takes for people to wake up, if that's what it takes for people to finally listen, and they have to hear something that many times for it to click, then okay, I accept, I surrender. If that's my role, if that's the responsibility that I have, I'll do it, right? Because if I don't step up and do that, if nobody else wants to step up and do that, and that means the same issue that we don't want to do it for now because of, is going to be constant. It won't go anywhere. People are always going to be asleep. People are not going to wake up. People aren't going to understand. They're not going to know. And unless the people that do have the awareness, that have done the work, if they don't get out of their pride and just their arrogance and like start lending out a hand, help people up, support them, help them grow, And this is another important lesson too that I learned is, and I had to learn this lesson pretty harshly over the years. And it took a lot of forgiveness and letting go and compassion on my part for myself, and a lot of healing and trust, rebuilding my trust, okay? For me to be able to reach this understanding with myself where, Angels, what was it? So it's more of like just like giving up on people and not holding space. In a lot of ways, we use our experiences, our personal life experiences, and what we've been through and how it was for us. And we have this expectation that other people should move the way we did. They should move as fast as we did. They should get as we did, and they should understand the way we do. It is incredibly non-compassionate to hold this over people's heads, and especially there was moments in my life where I learned a lot of things and grew, but it definitely wasn't under the best circumstances. It was shitty. It was a horrible experience. I'm grateful for it still. Didn't feel good. And those moments and how I went through that experience and how I was treated or how I was handled, just all these different things throughout my life, I didn't see for a long period where I was turning around and I was pushing that back on other people who didn't even do anything to me. Just humanity in general. I held this in general energy I just put on people. Whereas like, well, I had to learn. I grew up. I got over it. Just got to get tougher skin. Fucking grow up. Grab your balls. Very insensitive, empathetic, not really nurturing or compassionate or patient at all. And just because I had reached the understanding that I thought I had reached, and maybe I didn't go through the experience I would have liked to go through to reach that awareness, then since I had to go through shit, now everyone else has to go through shit. Oh, you're suffering? You having a hard time? Good. Get over it. I did it. What's wrong with you? Why can't you do it? And it's like this gaslighting, very condescending, angry, rageful energy that's so bitter and so resentful to the journey that one has had. And because I couldn't be grateful and appreciate my journey and how I grew and why it was necessary for me to go through the experience I did to know and to be how I am. Because I wasn't grateful for that, everything was bitterness. Everything was resentfulness. And that's all I had to give back to people when they did reach out, when they did communicate with me, when they did ask for support and reach out a hand. That's all I had to give back to them was my own resentment and bitterness that I hadn't fully processed yet. I wasn't at gratitude yet. I wasn't at the space where I could convey the journey or help support someone in their journey because I was still very bitter about my own. And I had not reached appreciation and gratitude with it. So these are all, again, very, very important points in ourselves that we have to know. We have to realize and be aware of it and work on these different parts of yourself, where your honor, where your respect, where your loyalty and just your commitment, your consistency, all these different things, looking at each one by one and seeing where you are in that for yourself and how you can expand that, how you can grow that, and you can become more honorable, become more respectful, become more in integrity, become more supportive, right? It's not just this one and done thing where you get there and you're done. There's so much further you can go because everything is multidimensional, right? It constantly always goes. It constantly always expands for more and more. So, and this is where God, in this experience for years, was a prime example that God, even God being God, still went through evolution. God being God herself still went through change and growth and evolution. Humanity, that is our prime example for life itself, for all of us as humanity, that our Creator herself still grows, still expands, still learns and evolves constantly, because this is a multidimensional experience. There's so many different lanes and realities of life intertwined together where we all are connected to, that life never stops. It constantly goes on. And Mom was a beautiful reharder for all of us that even God herself isn't the end. God constantly goes forward, beyond, keeps expanding up and keeps becoming more. And that's our ceiling. God is our ceiling, and she never stops. There's no cap. Constant upward flow and motion and evolution. That is our destiny. If you want to call anything destiny, that's our destiny. That is our fate, is God. Right? So definitely inspiring yourself, working on motivation. And I definitely was, in a lot of ways, I know, music, movies, TV shows, anything you can find inspiration in. Yeah, and this is an important topic too, where we go unconscious with different experiences of our life. When you sit down and watch a movie, right? A lot of people, they say they're gonna go to a movie and sit down and watch a movie. A lot of them are checking out. You probably have you have a very short attention span already, and most of the time the movie is the entertainment distraction, right? So we'll sit in front of a screen and watch a movie, and somewhere along that movie we check out. We're not even fully conscious. We're not fully aware. We're not actually, conscious during that whole experience. So, and even with music, we turn on music. We're not turning on the music to actually listen and feel the music. We're turning on the music to tune things out. We're not using the tools properly in the right way to where it benefits us and helps support us to expand and become more. We're actually, we are choosing to bypass this and counteract it in a negative way. This, again, using the tools in alignment, using it where it supports you and your growth. So for motivation, inspiration, passion even. Definitely when I was a child and growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends, didn't have a really social life. And so I spent a lot of time by myself, most of my life by myself. And I liked it that way in most moments, but still learning about myself and teaching myself about passion and motivation and inspiration itself, like what that was and how I felt it and how I worked with that, So I use tools, movies and TV shows, music, anything that connects to you, that resonates with your heart, with your body, what you're feeling. I know people have this negative connotation towards people who, they listen to sad music all the time and all they do is cry. But that is powerful, right? If you feel into, okay, you know how many people on this planet refuse to cry? They don't allow themselves to cry? And yet the one person that will put on a song and there's just let the waterfall go. That's profound. Thank you. Thank you for being real and expressive and actually letting that flow, because somewhere in the billions of people, they're not allowing that to happen. So you're one of the few. Congratulations. But using these tools to empower us to feel things. We have done so much effort in this life to shut ourselves off, to numb ourselves, to not feel, not be aware. This is the next step. This is the picking up pace part for us, where we are turning this on and we are feeling ourselves. We're feeling the energy, feeling our emotions, feeling what the thoughts are, and we are learning to become aware and understand ourselves better, right? So, definitely I love watching animations. Animations are really inspiring for me. And I actually asked God about this. It was an interesting topic because I have such a deep love for anime. And for those of you who don't know what anime is, it's more of an adult version of cartoons. Not saying that it's more, not that it's lower, there's definitely a lot more content in anime than there is in like children cartoon shows and movies. The anime is more, it definitely is more personal, more introverted in a lot of ways. That definitely human life experiences and just a lot of the issues humanity faces in our life. You find it very interesting how it transfers to anime and how they play those out and those roles out in those shows, you know, and a lot of them take place on a different planet and different scenario, different people that don't even look human. And so this is a really cool way to use this tool to get out of the box, right? We're so used to looking at human beings and everything being so physical and being attached to that, and pull back from that, you know, and that's where I would, you know, watch a lot of anime. It was a different world. It was a different reality. All kinds of things were possible in this world that I was watching that weren't possible here, but me experiencing that and having ideas and inspiration and being inspired by just what I saw and how they created the art and the colors and the different moves and just how they express themselves in anime. And you'll find that in anime and animations, they're more expressive. They're way more, you know, they have more character in themselves than most of us humans do. What we will allow to express to someone in a moment or show through our body, right? And so I really appreciate being in this space to experience other consciousness actually be different than humans and be more expressive, be more, you know, I don't care. Even if it's flamboyant, I don't care. It's all this energy where we try to buckle it down and try to lock it down and not let it show to other people. It's powerful when you can just be in a space where none of that even exists. It's a different world, different reality, different people you're looking at, different scenario. And so I asked Mom about this, and she expressed to me that, you know, the Earth and humanity, this physical planet, it is, I would say it's a minority in a lot of ways. You know, this physical experience is not an experience the rest of creation has currently. And the parts that do have physicality to them, they're not fully physical like we are, like our physical world. There is some parts of physicality on other worlds and star systems and things. But the physical experience we are in, you know, creation isn't physical. They're etheric. Everything is energy. And they're not dense and hard like us. You know, we have a lot of density and we are expanding, moving back into higher vibrations, but they're already there, right? They've always been there. And so in our understanding of how we, you know, and a lot of times I was so curious in my life. I was so questioning of everything and I wanted to understand so much. And I was, you know, I asked Mom, I was like, well, what is the etheric like? What is heaven actually like? If I can look at you, God, now as this, and this is our experience physically, what is it like in heaven? What is it like with the angels and all of creation and on the different planets? What is that like? You know? And I asked her about animation because I had a little bit of, I had an intuition that it had something connected with that. And because I loved it so much, it was my passion and joy. I had already known, you know, before I even came to Mission that I had been, by the time I came to Mission and learned about processing and understanding how energy really truly works, I could connect a lot of things that I had just been organically doing my whole life that I just felt to do, not even knowing that that was like what I was doing at that time. And so I realized that I had processed quite a bit of emotions, trauma, different things. I had processed so much of my energy through my love with anime and through, you know, watching them, but not being unconscious, not using it as an escape, but like literally watching, being so resonant to the story or what's going on or how they are expressing themselves or how some of the characters' truths are resonant to you. Like as a character starts expressing their life and what they've been through, and like I'm like, holy shit, that's me. Holy crap. And they don't even look like you. They're not even human. So it helps take the human attachment out of it so you can see the energy of it. And that's so important. I'll say that again. You know, one of the reasons why I like, you know, anime, you know, the characters aren't even human a lot of times. And so where they are expressing or portraying, emulating different energies or personas that are familiar to you or are resonant to you, that's how you act. Those are the things you say. That's how you behave, right? But the fact that it's not coming from a humanoid form in your mind, where the mind tries to computerize everything, it can't compute that. It's not human. And this is where we've got attached to what human is. So if we can take the human part out and just look at the energy of it, the consciousness, we get so much further down the road path of transformation with it. Okay? Whew, big coats. Thank you, Mom. And so again, what I was sharing, Angel's like, you didn't finish it. I'm like, thank you. So to finish my point I was making, when I asked Mom about this and expressed, Mom shared that, again, the rest of creation is not physical. And so by us, watching, and I'm not telling you when they have to watch, and I know there's a lot of people that don't really care for anime or cartoons. And I feel definitely it's the inner child within us all. And if we do have a lot of resistance to it, probably is the wounded inner child. And that we just don't want to go there with it. And the cartoons and the anime and all the childlike wonder and brilliance triggers the childlike wounds in us. And so that can be uncomfortable for some people, and I understand. But what Mom had shared about this with the anime is when you're watching the anime, it helps you understand the etheric creation in a larger way than you would just with your physical human perspective. Because creation's not physical, and all things are possible in the etheric. Whereas down here in physical reality, we have harsh, dense, principles and laws of physics and things, of just how our reality works, so to speak, or has worked. Those are all changing, by the way. How it's just worked up to this point. And so we can't really make that gap to, from where we're at and what we've experienced, and make that gap from not everything being possible to everything being possible. Every color you can possibly imagine and more. Just to share with you all, this is pretty cool information. So the color span, the color wheel that we can see, so to speak, all the colors in reality in the world that we can see through the human eye, it is literally this small. And then those for you on Telegram that can't see what I'm holding up, let's see, what do we equate this to, Angels? The size of a small Tupperware circular. Okay, Angels. I guess there's some, I don't know, a lot of people that like Tupperware know what I'm going to say. So Tupperware, and you have like a circle Tupperware, a little container that you put food in to store in the fridge after it's over, a Tupperware. So like a little small version of that, little circle, right? So you take up that lid, that circle, that is about the limit to what you can see with color, what you can perceive in your reality. Now, the actual truth of what actually does exist is ginormous. You'd have to go outside to draw the circle around your house. And that would be probably a good, equatable version of how much we can see and perceive and how much actually does exist. It's phenomenal. It's out of this world. And so there's no way you can understand or know it all before you get there, because there's no way you can actually interface with that kind of information. It's not known to you yet. And this is where, I've used cartoons and anime as a tool in stretching my ability of what I allow as possible. And it's a really, really good way to help, working with energy. I work with a lot of energy, and definitely is a joy of mine, understanding energy and working with it and teaching it to other people. And when you're doing that, it requires Angels. Yeah, you definitely have to be on top of your belief systems. You have to keep dissolving those, getting those out, and being open to any and all possibilities. Anything is possible, and by just working with that as a child and seeing all the different experiences you would see on TV and shows and stuff, and it was crazy. It definitely expands the imagination too. Mama shared many times about the imagination. That's the dream machine. That's how we are creating out of love, love everywhere present. And, so the animations and all that, and just being able to be in that childlike wonder for, long moments and allow a different reality than what you're used to happen and occur, it really helps you get past your own limitations in yourself. And this in a lot of ways helps you see the angels and creation in a bigger way, because they're not physical, they're animated. You get it? If you're not physical, you're going to look more like a cartoon. Your experience is more going to be like an animated cartoon. That's what the etheric and heaven and the angels and all the beings in the higher realms and stuff, that's what the experience more is like. It's like being in a cartoon world, where everything loony and funny and crazy can happen and it's all possible. That's real reality, and we have resigned ourselves to this very dense, hard, grindy version of what reality is, where it's just plain and those things just aren't possible. You just don't hear about those things. Those things never happen. Those are just fantasy. Well, it could become true. It can happen. So just anyways, just to end that point, definitely want to just to hone in on that. That was a really cool way that, Mom shared is a really cool, powerful transformation, letting go of what you think is possible in life, letting go of what you think happens in life because you think the laws of physics, chemistry, the principles of time and space and all these different things. Like, okay, you continue thinking that. You tell yourself that you know it all and how it works. It's all collapsing completely. We are blending heaven, literally 5D, higher realms, higher etheric, cartoon world, if you call it that too. We are blending that with physicality, literally. So that's quite a mesh of things, quite a mixture. And so there's all kinds of things we're going to have to let go of and realize that, yes, it may have been that way before, but now it's changing. And the more we surrender, the more we allow this change to come forward with childlike excitement, joy, and not anticipation, not getting anxious about it, not getting all uptight and tense about it. No, being happy and joyous. It's a surprise. It's a celebration. So definitely I feel, everyone, being more expressive in these moments, I feel it's a really good alignment with the energy that's going on collectively right now. Talked a lot about slowing it down, pulling the emergency brake. And if you've done that, I'm grateful that you applied that to yourself and chose to love yourself enough to support that part of your journey. And so where I feel now where the energy is starting to pick up pace, I don't feel it's there yet at the physical point where it's really shifting things fast, but the energy is there. And so it's already starting to trickle out. It's already starting to pour through you. So this is a good point that as it's raising the pace, raising the intensity within you, get that paper, write out all the stuff. Remember, this is your billboard sign, okay? I shared this at the beginning of the stream. This is your billboard sign. This is the sign you get before you get to the exit. We are all taking the exit. Therefore, this is your sign. Heads up. It's coming. Okay, so these are the moments you get that paper out, you write these things down, you express yourself, you get a good look at yourself, pay attention to the signs, look at the signs. Therefore, when we take this exit, humanity, we'll be on the same page. Okay, even if the rest of the world's still not awake yet, the people who are awake and aware, you can better manage your experience and be more balanced and flowy in your experience versus coming crashing into walls every second. Okay. This is the process, okay? It sounds simpler said than done, but definitely we are all doing it together. We are all learning this together, and we are, it's all based off trust. It's based off of faith and just being loyal to why you're even here in this first place, which is for the world, for humanity. Remember what I said at the beginning, at the beginning of the stream, we're talking about work. If your work, my work is this planet. My work is humanity, Ascension. That's my work. That's our work. That's why we're here. But if your work that you're focused on is not that work, I don't know what yours is, but it's not work. It's a distraction. It's an escapism. It's some kind of delusional grandeur, right? So getting a good focus on what are you even doing? What are you working with right now? It's kind of like you push your chair back from the desk and you get a really good, clear view of what's on the desk in the first place because you've been putting your nose to that desk the whole time, just trying to get away and not look at everything, right? Get a good, clear look. Maybe go outside, take a breather, smoke a cig, sit down with yourself by a tree. But a lot of times you have to change the environment. And the same thing, I remember my teachers telling me this when I was smaller, younger in school, you can't change a situation with the same, the same thing that caused it. You can't heal or change a situation with the same tools that were used to cause the disruption. You know, you have to change something. Something has to change. So, you know, definitely anything can be changed. You know, just tweak it a little bit. And I shared this yesterday on live stream. You know, even if you gotta, you know, get the speaker turned on, put some incense on, you know, run you a nice bath, put some music on, get the ambience going. You know, clean your bed so you can sleep in a really nice, soft, nice bed, or just make a nice meal. I don't care if you live alone. When was the last time? And that's probably even more of a transformation for you too. If you live alone and you don't have really anyone to cook for, then that's probably the excuse you've been using the entire time not to cook for yourself and eating out or just eating shit, right? So if we put more love and attention back into supporting us and benefiting our experience, then everyone as a whole can move forward too, you know? So I encourage you, you know, make that special meal for yourself. Treat yourself. Ding, mom agrees. Love yourself. So, you know, really honor and respect yourself, okay? You're here on this planet in the same experience everybody else is in. And the more you can be grateful and learn how to give honor and respect back to it, the more confident and the more we can really stand in that truth. It's not pride. It's not arrogance. It's about really, truly just being the example and knowing that is what you are. That's what you are becoming, is your intention, your purpose. Love everywhere present, a way shower, a lighthouse for the dark. Okay? You're not here for yourself. You're not here for anybody, you know, individually. You're not here for yourself either. You're here for the greater whole, the collective, the one whole collective. It's why all of us are here in the first place, so we can be the inner workings of this dream called 5D, love everywhere present. You know, that we are moving there. We are the inner workings of that dream coming on live and becoming alive. Okay? So everyone definitely trust yourself more. Okay? Love yourself more, and be patient and kind. These are big roles. Big hot potatoes, okay? Big potatoes for everybody, big roles. So don't rush. Don't be rash with your, you know, decisions and everything like that. You know, definitely be patient and nurturing. However, definitely the time to step up is coming, okay? And I feel this is definitely in line with, you know, the Scorpio energies coming in and all the just the different retrogrades going on. It's a lot of cosmic movement that's causing us to really change up the game. Okay, changing up the whole game board, changing the pieces, changing the colors. Everything is getting traded out for something new, fresh. And this is going to allow us to go through the experience in a different way and achieve a different outcome as well. Which is the same thing we can apply and practice within ourselves. Just change something. Change one thing a day, you know, and allow yourself to grow with that and be excited. Learn that there is so much more to yourself that you don't know yet, that you've never experienced, and you have no idea how magical and grand that's going to be. Until you start looking, you're never going to know. All right? I love all of you beautiful, beautiful souls. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a live podcast tonight, Silver Lining. There's probably going to be around 12 or 1-ish. But, you know, definitely we will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Time with Buddha and Jerry. And I will be with you all tomorrow evening. Love you all. Stay grounded and centered. Drink your water. Water is 100% consciousness. You should have more water in your body than anything else. You know, water helps you process the most. It helps you expand, helps raise your consciousness. But if you're not putting water in your body, if you're putting shit, you know, different sodas and things like that, you're just focused on food, you know, your body doesn't really have anything to work with consciously wise to actually help you raise the bar. It's like sandpaper in your body. It's like a bunch of sandpaper grinding together. It's not really a fun experience and you feel like shit, okay? So drink water, replenish yourself, fill your cells with so much water so the cells can actually recode themselves and we can actually make this jump, okay? I love you all. Take care of yourselves. We will be back with you all tomorrow. Take care of yourself tonight.